Hi guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Samson Abasiono team, and today we're going to be creating this design over here. Without further ado, let's go to today's class. So before I talk about, let me share my entire screen with you guys. So before I start designing social media banner, I'm going to talk about what a social media banner is. A social media banner is just like every regular banner or design we create. Um, just like your movie poster, your church flyer, your business flyer, or whatever. It's just like that. But in this case, it's only meant for online posting, maybe your web, your Facebook, your Instagram, your YouTube cover, your Behance page, and what have you. So now each platform has their own dimension. What I mean by dimension, I mean by um, sizes, the width and the breadth or height of the banner. All right. So before we start talking about social media banners, I'm going to um, show you the banners I've done. Just few of them actually, not much. The ones I'm being allowed to post on my page because I work for. Okay, let me turn this off and okay. So if you can see my screen, if you can see my screen, this is a movie poster I did for a client some days ago. This is a movie poster. Then this is a social media banner. This is a social media banner I did for FSI. Okay, so social media banner always come in a square shape. All right, they always come in a square shape. If you have any questions, please drop your questions. Welcome, Justice. Justin, you're welcome. Bright, you're welcome. Good to have you here. So these are all social media banners. If you can see my screen, send a message so I'll know you can see my screen. Thank you. I really appreciate that. All right. So today, I can see your screen. Thank you, Bright. Thank you, Bright. So today I'm going to be recreating a design I did some days ago for one of my clients. To record this class for those that couldn't meet up, I'm going to record the class and post it on my YouTube page so you can always go there to download it. Okay? So if you miss anything, you won't miss out of it. You can always go there to download. So I'm going to go straight now to creating a social media banner. So I want to recreate a banner design I did for one of our clients by name Sugar Band. All right. So it's what they do in Sugar Band. They sell they have an app where they premiere movies online. So you go there, you rent a movie, you buy a movie, you watch a movie, and you download a movie and whatnot. So, all right. So my YouTube, I will drop that. I'll drop that in the group so you guys can always go there and get whatever you need. All right. Good. So if you can see my screen, this is what we're going to be recreating today. Okay. So I'm going to take you to the process of creating this from scratch to the end. If you have any questions, like I said, drop it in the chat box and I will see it and I will attend to it immediately. If I miss anything, Mr. Chinedu is going to call my attention and we're going to attend to it immediately. All right. Thank you very much. So without further ado, let's start. So you can design using your mouse or your Wacom tab. I'm using a tablet. I like using a tablet to design because it's easier for me. It's only few time I use my mouse, but I always have my mouse plugged in just in case I want to get something done. But when I work with my pen too, I always use my tablet to make sure for the smooth move and the rest. So first of all, this is my Photoshop. This is how it looks like. Let me make this for just Photoshop alone. All right. So this is my Photoshop. This is how my Photoshop looks like, and I'm using CC 2020. So the link I sent to the page was 2015 and 2019. So I'm using 2020. There's a slight difference. Justin message missing is using CS6. It can still work, but there's a slight difference in it, and I'm going to explain that. So to create, you go to your create tab you have over here, create and open. Open is if you've already done a project and you want to open that project and maybe change some things in it. So you just go to open and go to where the file is located and open it. But creating, you are creating a new project from scratch. So we are creating a new project from scratch. So create, wait for it to load. And so this is our panel over here. And I want to create our design for social media posts. So I'm going to come here where we have untitled -1. I'm going to name this Tuesday Creative Class. And I'm going to make the size, since we are designing for our Instagram, our Facebook, our Twitter and whatnot, it's advisable to use 1200 by 1200 pixels. 1200 by 1200 pixels. We have different measurements over here. We have inches, we have centimeter, millimeter, point, and the rest. So I always advise you design in pixels. And in design, not one thing in design, we call the width before the height. So it's sometimes we see 5 times x inches, that is 5, the width is 5, the height is 4. So I'm doing 1200 by 1200 pixels. Mind you, the dimension recommended for Instagram is 1080 by 1080 IG. So I'm typing that right now. IG post size 1080 by 1080. So I use 1200 by 1200, and I make the resolution 300 and RGB color because I'm not printing. If I'm printing it, then I'm going to use CMYK, but I'm not printing. It's for online purpose, so it's going to be in RGB. And I use 300 resolution because I want the quality to come out sharp even after I export my file. So once I'm done with all this, the next thing I do is click on my create button over here, and voila, it pops out. And if you can see my panel over here, let me move this so you guys can see what I have here. Okay. So if you can see my panel over here, when you open Photoshop for the first time, it doesn't look like this. I set mine like this because I wanted to fit what I am doing. I do more of photo retouch on my Photoshop, and I do my social media banners more on Illustrator, but I do more of photo retouch and manipulation on what's it called, on Photoshop. So I arranged my panel to suit me and make it easier to locate things when I want to do that. Okay. All right. So I want to import my image right now. So to do this, let me share my screen so you all can see everything I'm doing. So now I want to import my image. Now there are two ways I import image from my desktop or wherever I have it located to my Photoshop. The first one I'm going to show you right now is moving to your file over here, clicking on open, going to where the file is located, pictures, Tuesday class, assets. First I want to do is import my background. Okay. The second way, that's one. The second way is to go to where the file is located. I have here pictures, Tuesday Zoom class, assets. We have our image. This is my image. I got this image from Shutterstock. I buy most of my images, but there are some sites where you can get free images like Pixels. Chinedu, please help. Mr. Chinedu, please help type it on the chat bar. Pixels.com, unsplash.com, and once I remember the rest, I will mention it. But you can get free pictures from Pixels.com and unsplash.com. But I buy my pictures from Shutterstock, Adobe Stock, iStock, and Getty Image. That's where I buy all my images from. So you can, to import this image now, I'm going to click on the image, drag it to my Photoshop. Photoshop is going to pop up like this, and I'm going to drag it to the edge here, drag it here and drop. First thing I want to do is, if you can see in our original image, let me bring the original image in. So if you can see our original image here, we have our Happy Mother's Day text, our love, our mother image without the background, the mother and the child at the background. So the next thing I want to do now is crop out this image from this background with the air still, with the air not affected. All right. So what I want to do now is I want to zoom in by pressing Control. Chinedu, please help me type this. By pressing Control on your keyboard, Control with plus the space bar to zoom in, Control alternate the space bar together to zoom out. So Justin, hope I'm not too fast now. So I want to crop out. For me, no. Okay. You missed me when you got to how to upload the picture to the Photoshop interface. Okay, Justin, I'm going to do that again now. Okay, let me take this picture out. Okay. Now, like I said, there are two ways to importing your image to Photoshop interface. The first one is to go to your file over here, drag your mouse to where you have your file over here, click on it, then go to open, then click on the image you want to bring into the Photoshop, then click on open. Then the image comes in, all right? Or you go to where the image is, click on the image itself, drag it into Photoshop, take it to the right, the last right side of your Photoshop interface view, then drop it, then it opens, all right? I want to crop out the image, leaving the image alone without the background. I just need the image, I don't need the background. The background is useless to me. So I'm going to show you the most simplest way. There are different ways of doing it, but I'm going to show you the most simplest, easiest, and fastest way to do it. All right. So the first thing I want to do is I want to use my layer max. I'm going to use my layer max to max out the image I want and take out the background. Now, in Photoshop CC20 from I think CC16, no, from 17 rather, 17, 18, 19 has these features where you go to your select tool over here, click on your select over here, and then click on subject. What it does is it's what Photoshop does for you is it highlights the image alone, the image figure in the general photo. It highlights it alone and separates it from the background. That way, making it easier for you to crop out your image. All right. Now in CC, in CC 15, 14, CS6, CS4, and the rest, they don't have that feature. So for the sake of those using CS6, I'm going to do this the other way around. So what I want to do is I want to use my magic wand tool over here. This is our toolbar over here, by the way. So I'm going to use my magic wand tool to just, sorry, my quick select tool rather. You only use a magic wand tool if the background is a plain background. That's when you use a magic wand tool. So I'm going to use my quick select tool to highlight the parts I want. Okay. So I like the part I want. All right. So after I've done that, the next thing I want to do now is take out the background. Now, to make sure I still have the background intact, I don't want to damage or get rid of the background totally. To make sure I still have the background intact, what I would do is use my layer max. I'm going to max it out. How do I do that? Now, please follow the direction of my mouse. If you look at the lower part of Photoshop over here, where you have your layers, where your layers are, over here. Can you see it? If you can, please send a message so I know you can see it. I'm going to click on add marks. Once I click on it, okay, good. Once I click on it, you can see that it takes out the background and leave only the image. But we have some part of the image that is some part of the background that is remaining. So how I'll do that is, so how I'm going to do that now is to zoom in to where, like I said, control your space bar to zoom in to where my layer is that I don't want. Click on my brush tool by pressing B on the keyboard. By pressing B on the keyboard, click on my brush tool, and okay, smart network is breaking. I'm so sorry. I'm going to upload the recorded version on my YouTube page channel, so you can always go there to check it. And what I want to do is making sure I'm clicking on the maxed layer, not the layer itself. If you can watch closely, if you watch closely there, if I click on my max layer, there's a rectangle. Okay, I don't want this now, not now. I'll go to it. There's a rectangle that highlighted that highlighted it that I'm on my max layer, not my image layer itself. So clicking on my max layer, I'm going to use my brush tool to paint out, make sure it's on white. Now, get this, black is to remove, white is to add. Black is to remove, white is to add. So I'm going to make sure my color, my foreground color here is black. Then I just want to paint out the part I don't want. Okay. Okay. So that's done, but we're not yet finished yet. So there's one more thing I want to do to make the edges of the hair really smooth. So clicking on my layer max, I'm going to press Alt on my keyboard. Alt on my keyboard, then click on layer max. Did we get that? Or before I do this, yeah. To click on my layer mask, I'm going, before I do this, before I go to that, I want to make it more smoother. So I'm going to go to my select over here, select and max, click on it. Then I'm going to click on my brush, this brush over here, reduce the size, then just highlight, no, it's too much. Highlight the areas I don't want in. All right. I'm going to take another tutorial class on how to remove image from a background. That's going to be a separate class on its own. I think that's what I'm going to do. So the next step is going to be how to remove image from a background. All right. So press OK, then click on alternate and click on my layer marks. Click on the brush tool. Change the mode to overlay. Then paint out the edges of the air. Please, if you are lost, send a message so I can recap, okay? Thank you very much. Then Alt again to go back. Now our image is set. So now I want to drag my image, click and drag my image. I'm lost, okay. Okay, Bright, where were you lost? Sorry, where did I lost you? Please, how did you max the image transparency? Okay, so what I did was Abayomi, you're welcome, sir. All right, so what I did was, okay, let me go back to what I did. All right, control, let me go back to add layer max. All right. So after I added the layer max here, now there are some parts of the background that are still showing on the air. Can you see it? All right. So what I did was I clicked on my layer max, press B on my keyboard to bring out my brush tool. All right. Press B on my keyboard to bring out a brush tool. I make sure the foreground, the color here, if you check your Photoshop, you see two colors here. One is showing black, mine is showing black and white. In yours, it might be another color or something, but the default color for it is black and white. So I just brush it out. All right. So the next thing I did after brushing it out, the next thing I did was go to my select over here, then click on select. Please hold on. All right. All right, guys, for the record, let me just, the screen is dim. For the record, let me just tell you guys ahead of time. So Zoom gave us 40 minutes to have this class. So after this section is over for the next 40 minutes and we are not done, you're going to join again using the link you have. Okay, so we continue from where we stop. Is that fine? If that is fine, please send me a message saying it's fine. All right, so I'm going to continue now. I'm going to continue now. So select and max. All right, so click on it. Once you click on your select and mask tool, is going to take you to another layer. It's going to pop out another layer. So what you need to do here is click on this icon over here, your refine edge brush tool. When you click on it, set your transparency view to whatever you want. The default is going to be like this. This is default. This is how it looks like. But I changed mine to red because I just like the way it looks. I just like the way it looks, and I reduce the opacity. So it's just me. So you can set it to whatever you want. So when you click on your refine edge brush tool, you just select the edges of the air. Select the edges of the air like that. And for your output over here, you make sure it's on layer max. All right, click layer max, then OK. Then we can see that it has made some adjustments to it, but it's not yet smooth. I don't really like the way it looks somehow. It's good, but it's not perfect. So next thing I'm going to do now is please, if you are lost, send a message. Send a message if you are lost. The next thing I'm going to do is holding my alt on my keyboard. If you're using a Mac system, it's option on a Mac system. So click on your layer marks. Then now this place, I'm sorry guys, I'm having cold and catarrh, so sorry. So over here, okay, Justin just sent a message to the group that he is lost. Justin, where were you lost? Oh, you know what? I'm going to continue, and I'm going to send the link to my channel where you can download the class from YouTube, so you can follow back step by step and very slow. Okay. Now to take this part out, I'm going to click on my mode over here and change the mode to overlay, leaving it at black. I'm just going to paint. Bright, I think it's from your system. I think it's from your system. So just paint on the edges. Once you're done, change it back to normal, then Alt and click on the background again. So you have your image. Yes. So the next thing I want to do now is drag this image. Before I drag the image, I need to bring in my background. So this is where my background is. So I'm going to click on it, then drag it to Tuesday Creative Class. Make sure you see this icon showing a plus sign on your mouse before you release. So when you release, no, it is right. The screen is blurry. All right, let me see why the screen is blurry. So sorry guys, this is my first time using Zoom for an online call. So I think after this class, I'm going to find a way to settle that. All right, is this still blurry? You guys should check if it's, is this still blurry? I want to type my text now. Clicking on my text tool or press key. Okay, much better. Or press T on your keyboard for your text to text is your letter to press T on your keyboard. Then I want to type mom because it was Mother's Day. It was for Mother's Day design. So let me change my color. That this color looks awful. Shit. All right. So mom. Now I want to make the size. I want to make the size. Now this part I'm going to take it bit by bit because I don't want you guys to be lost anymore. I'm going to take it bit by bit. No, so I'm going to type in my mom. Type in my mom. And I want to increase the size. So I'm going to click and highlight. Make the size. If you look up here, you can see the panel for our text layer. Make the size, I think 20. 20 is too small. Let's make it 50. Not too big. 35, I think. I think that's fine. So I want to drag it to the middle. Sorry, the middle. All right. Then I want to change the weight rather of my font. I'm still going to click on my T, highlight it again, then change it from medium. Is the name of the font. Change it from that's the name of the font. You can always download it. Change it from medium to extra bold. Okay, extra bold. So extra bold. All right. And I want this to come in a little bit. So I want to do something here right now. I want to make my O bigger than the M and the two M we have there. So I'm going to highlight just my O, then make it, let's say 40. Are you with me, guys? Yeah, this is fine. If you're with me, please send a message so I know you're with me. Yeah, thank you. I like this. So let's keep going. So next thing I want to do is click on my Windows panel to bring out my characters. Where's character? Yeah, character. Then I want to adjust it is known as kinning, right? The space between the M, the O, and the second O. This space here, I want to reduce it a little bit. So I want to reduce the space. So what I will do now is come down here to where we have our VA. Can you see it? Where we have our VA over here. Then make this -5. No, 2 -10. So let's make it -25. All right, -25 is good. I think this is okay for me. 25 is good. Then I want to change the color to yellow. When you click on this color over here, double click on it, you can see tons of colors over here. So I want to drag this up to kind of between orange and yellow. Then I think this was what I used. Yes. Take something brighter. I use something bright also. Yeah. So this. Then I want to drag my image. I want to drag my image over here. So if you see the right end of my Photoshop panel over here, you can see we have layers. We have our mom layer, we have our layer 1, which is also known as our background layer. Then we have the original background layer that came with Photoshop when I opened it. All right. So I want to bring in another layer, which is our image layer. So I go down here to where we have our image, click, drag it to where we have our mom, then drop. All right. Thank you, Bright. So I want to put my image layer on my text, on my old text alone. All right. Now this can be a little bit tricky. So all we have to do is just alight. Now watch this closely. Now I want to alight my. Let me toggle off my image layer. So I want to alight my text layer now, so I can put in my image on just the O. If I should put in the image by holding by right clicking on the layer and going to clipping marks, it's going to go into all the what's it called, the text and all. So you can see if I should move it this way, you can see it's there, but I don't want that. All right, I don't want that. I want it to be on its own. So what I would do is, so what I did is I highlighted my text layer by holding Control on my keyboard and moving my mouse to the T letter where you now see a broken square showing. Then click on it to highlight it. You can see it's highlighted. If you understand to this point, please send a message. If you understand to this point, please send a message. Yes, I do. All right, so let me do what. All right, so what I want to do now is I want to click on my layer marks and then my brush tool, increase it by pressing the bracket key on your keyboard. Then I want to change it to hard. I need it to be hard. Then now, if I should clean this part, it's going to affect the image, and I don't want that. I just want the outer part of the image to be removed, while the other part be inside. So what I want to do now is, let me first of all resize my image to fit the O. Okay, so we have this. Okay, good. So click again, then press Control Shift I on your keyboard to invert the highlighted area. Control plus Shift plus I to inverse to inverse. So let's continue. So now click on your layer marks, press O on your keyboard for the brush tool, and take out the parts you don't want, just the edges like so. Okay, good. So we have that. Hope you understand, right? So we have this. So the next thing I want to do now is bring in this many things we have by the side. So I want to go to my layer and my assets, bring in my movie reel, bring in my emoji, bring in my action bar, and bring in my popcorn. So drag to Photoshop and drop it. All right. Okay. 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 So I want to turn off the rest because I just want to work on them one by one. So the first thing I want to do is press Ctrl T on your keyboard by bringing your transform tool. Chinedu, please help type that on the chat bar. By bringing your transform tool, press Ctrl T on the keyboard for your transform tool. I want to then hold alternate on your keyboard, then go to the edge of it with this edge, then drag it to reduce the size. I want it this way. Okay, I think this is fine. Then I'm going to take my movie reel layer underneath my image layer because I want it to look like it's coming from behind the woman. All right, but on top of the text. All right, so do the same thing for action bar. Ctrl T, Alt, resize it, bring it this way. Okay, take it back. All right, adjust it. Use your move tool to adjust it a little bit. All right, our popcorn, reduce the size. Put it up here, take it back again. All right, I think I need to put it behind. Okay, is that it is? Okay, yeah, that's how it was. So put this behind, reduce it a little bit. All right. If you are lost, please let me know. All right. Then I'm going to rotate this way. I bring it out like this. Reduce the size, rotate, bring it out like this. Okay, so now we've done this. So the next thing I want to do is my emoji. The same thing I've been doing. Reduce the size, bring it down to this point. Enter. All right. So the text I used here was Happy Mother's Day. All right. Your text. Happy Mother's Day. Change the color to white. Reduce the size to no. Semi bold. Reduce the size to 20. It's too big. 10. Okay. And keep this here. Let's reduce this a little bit. It's still too big. Reduce this to, let's say, 8 or so. Okay, yeah, that's fair. All right. So the weight is too much. Let's reduce the weight to regular. No, let's leave it at semi-bold. Then I want to make it all caps. Yeah. Yeah. So now the design looks okay like this, but to add extra things to it, I want to make it look more realistic. Jay, hello? Okay, Jay, do you have any question?
Sorry,
Sorry, I can't hear you clearly.
I think sorry I came a little bit late. Hope you are recording so at least I can get the full video later.
Yes, we are recording. So I'll post the full video on my YouTube channel so you can always download.
YouTube.
All right, sir. Mr.
Thank
Jeremiah,
you, sir.
I hear you, sir. All right, so moving on. So I want to make it more realistic. Mr. Jeremiah, please mute your mic. So I want to make it more realistic now. So what I want to do is I want to add shadows to the text, the mom text, add shadows to the reel, the movie reel, and the action bar. Okay, so what I want to do now is go to my action bar, right click, then blending options. We have drop shadows. Let me make this 100% so you can see. If we can look at the action bar closely, you see there's some darkish thing coming out in the background. Yeah. So you just reduce this to, let's say, I want it to come this way. Depending on the direction you want it to come, you set it to the direction you want it to fall. So I want this to be 5, the size is a 9, and spread should be 10, and the size, let's say 20, let's say 25, and size, all right. So think I need it like this. All right. Then let me make the opacity 50. Good. So I want the same thing for, I'll do the same thing for the movie reel. Blending options. blending options, drop shadow, and I want it to be this way. Why is it applying on movie reel? Yeah, so you can see it. Let me zoom in so you see it. You can see it's applied there. So I want to also add shadows on the background of the mom. So blending options. This time I want to add a yellowish shadow. So yellow, increase the size, change the blend options to something like this. Yeah. Distance, let's say 5, 3. Okay, 3 is good. Spread 10, and the size is good for 25. Yep. And that's how we achieved this design. All right. Now, the next thing I want to do is export my design. So I want to export by clicking on File, going to Export, Export as, and I want to export. You can see the format over here. We have PNG, we have JPEG, we have GIF, we have SVG. I'll explain this format later, but I save as PNG because it saves better and the resolution is always better than JPEG. 1200 by 1200, the scale 100%, everything looks okay. Export. So I want to export it to a location. I'm going to choose picture, choose the zoom class and finished, then save. Then it's done saving. The next thing is I want to save my Photoshop file itself. So what I would do is click on File, then save on my computer, then Zoom class, project file, then choose the creative class, then save.
Thank you guys for joining today's class. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and turn on your notification button so whenever I drop in a new video, you're gonna get notified.